skipped, and that we will do by using the conditional statement, and where we discussed simply how to write it here, if else. And here, if you take that here, this is a basic syntax. If expression, if this expression is evaluated to be true, then this is going to execute. Then otherwise it is going to execute the else block. It is going to execute. So else block will be executing, and then we have seen a simple examples. We have seen that here how we are going to, like, the if the number is modulus of 2 equal to 0, then it would print the even. Otherwise, it is going to print the given number is R. This is what we have seen the example. Now, what I'll do here is the source code, whatever we created here, I want to make it available for you, like, where you can download and where you can get that. For that, we need to push this code to the GitHub or the common place. We need to push that here. So at the end of the class, I'll be pushing this code and I'll give you this link. Yeah. The next one is here when, like, first thing is I'm going to create a new package. I'm going to create it here. There's I'll be saying it as a day 3. Yeah. Now here we will take a simple scenario. We are going to take it here. New class. I'm going to create it here. So this is a class name is I'm going to say it as a bill generator. Okay. Bill generator example. I'm going to take it here. Bill generator example. We'll define the statement. What is the statement is, so we are going to define here. So, okay, accept the customer name. Okay, customer name and the bill amount and bill amount from the user. Calculate the discount if bill amount is greater than 5,000, then discount will be greater than 5. Discount is otherwise 5% discount. And print the discount amount, bill amount, and the net amount. If you take this question, accept the customer name and bill amount from the user and calculate the discount if the bill amount is greater than. Calculate the discount if bill amount is greater than 5,000, then the discount is 10%, otherwise 5%, and print the discount amount, bill amount, and the net amount. This is a simple thing. We need to do that here. I think this I can keep it as an assignment. You guys can try how to do that. You guys can try that here. The next one is we are going to see that here. One more example. You are going to write it here. This is an assignment question. Like now you can practice this question, like now how to do that. Just give it a try. Okay. The next question, if you take that here, profit. Okay. This is a you would be taking it as a another example. Okay. These are the questions. Yeah, we can solve it on this question. We are going to solve now. The profit or loss, we want to see this here. Okay, just you will be saying that here. Profit and loss, we can say that as a profit and loss example. We are going to take that here. Okay, cool. Now here, when you are doing this example, like you are going to accept this is a place where you are writing the main method. Now we need to accept the buying price. We need to accept the selling price, and then you have to find the whether customer is made a profit or he made a loss. We need to calculate that here. Whether the person is made a profit or loss, we need to calculate that here. This is a simplest example. First, we need to create a one scanner class. Here we are going to enter here. This is what enter the enter the selling price, and we got the selling price. Then we are going to get the enter the selling price, CP selling price, and here we want to get the one is like the selling price. We are going to say that cost price and selling price. Cost price and the selling price, we are going to get it here. Now we need to say that here, whether the customer is made a profit or loss. If it is a made a profit, how much profit? If he makes the loss, how much loss he made it, we need to calculate that here. Okay. This is a simple example. Whether the customer is made a profit or loss, we need to find that here. The cost price and selling price, both we got it here. What is the cost price? What is the selling price? We got it here. And now here we need to find the what is the profit, whether he made a profit or loss. If there is no profit, there is no loss. Just you can say that here. There is no profit, there is no loss. You are going to say that here. We have three options. You will make a profit, you may make loss, or you may not make the no profit, no loss. These are three options you are having here. Now, when do you say that you made a profit? This is a simple example. No, when do you say that this person made a profit? Okay. So here we are going to write a simple thing. One algorithm we are going to write it here. If my CP, cost price, is less than SP, then you will make a profit. He is going to make a profit. He is going to make it here. If not, okay, if this condition is he is going to make a profit, he is going to make it here. If not, else if my CP is my cost price is greater than SP, selling price, you will make a loss. If not, else there is no profit, there is no loss. No profit, no loss. No profit and no loss. This is what. No, he is not made any profit, he is not made any loss also. It's like no, whatever the you bought it in the same price, he has sold that here. So now here we are writing that code, we are going to write it here. If CP is greater than my set cost price is greater than SP, then you made a loss of the what is the loss amount. If not, you are going to make a profit. If there is nothing, then you are going to say that here there is no loss, there is no. You would be saying it as a if my CP is greater than SP, then you are making a loss. What is the loss amount? You made it here. If less than, you made it as a profit. And what is the amount? If this none of these cases are true, this is not true. Even this is also not true. Then it go to the else and it's printing it as a no profit, no loss. It's printing. Now, if I run this here, so which would be printing the output as a. So these are cases where we'll use the if else if we are going to use it here. Now, suppose if I'm taking the cost price is a 10, the selling price is a 8. So now here we are going to make a loss. So loss of 2, you are going to make that here. This is a way we would be using the if else if you are going to use it here. If my condition is not over, then you are going to check the else if. Then if this condition also false, then it's going to execute the else block. First it will enter, it will check the condition. If it is a false, it will go to the else and it will check this condition. Then it's going to check this here. If this is also false, then it will come to the else block and this will be executed. Now, let me explain you the operators. Few more operators we need to discuss that here. Just let me discuss logical operators. There is something called the and then we have something called the or operator. And or operator, we want to discuss about that here. In case of if you want to combine the two or more relational operators, we'll use the logical operator. Two or more logical relational operators, if you want to combine that, we'll use the logical operator. In case of the and means, suppose if I say that here A and B, that means the A and B both has to be true. A and B both has to be true. Now, if you take a truth table for the and, this is what it is. Like, let me create a table, simple table. Okay. Here I'm going to create a table, and here we are writing the truth table. We are going to write it here. This is the A. This is the value of the B, and this is take it as a and B. Okay. Now here we are taking the A. This is the A. Okay. This is a place we are going to take this. So this is a B, we are going to take it here. This we are going to take the A and B. This is a A or B. So what are the possible options we have is here. You can take it here. This is the thing. And second one. And we could do here one more. Okay, one more line we are going to do this here. These are the possible options. Get it here. Cool. Okay, here if we take this here, so we have a options like no, this is a true, and this is also true. Both are true. One is true, one is a false. One is false, another one is a true, and both are false. False, false. So now here we have a two options, A and B. If we take that here, both are true. One is true, one is false. One is a false, another one is a true, and both are false. If we take this scenario, A and B, in case of the AND, if both are true, then it is going to be a true. In case of the AND, if both are true, then the result, the A and B is going to become the true. True and false, even one is true, one is a false, it is going to become the false. It's going to become the false, it is going to become, this value is a, okay, we can say it as a, this value is going to be a false. Okay, now here false and true, again it is going to become the false. Because one is a false, if it is a one, even one is a false also, the value will become the false, it is going to become. Yeah. Okay, let me take this value. That would be better. Okay, let me put it this here, false. And this is going to be a false. So in case of the AND, in case of the AND, if you take that here, both the condition has to be true, then only the result will be the true. If any one condition is false, it is going to be false. In case of the R, either this or that. When you take that here, any one of these things are true, that's good enough, it is going to be result into the true. In this case, this value is going to be a true. Okay, this value, we can take it as this is a true. Okay, because here we got the true. And here, this is also true. This is also, because there is a one true. So the moment it's a one true is encountered also, it's going to become the true. Okay, this value is a true. Yeah, this is a true. And in this case, this is also true. And only the case it is going to become the false. This is the case it is going to become the false. Both are false, then it's going to become the false. And even in this case, it is also going to be a true. It is going to be here. See, let me put it. Okay, it's writing this is facing the problem. Just let me write it as a manually. This is going to be true. So the AND says that here, if both the conditions are true, it's going to be true. R says that here, any one thing is true, it is going to evaluate it to be true. So this is a basic truth table you should remember. And now here, if I'm taking here, I'm going to take A, B, and C. A, B, C, we have a three values. We need to find the biggest of these three values. We don't know what is the value at the A. We don't know what is the value at the B. We don't know what is the value at the C. But we are pretty sure there is a value in that. Now we have to write a program. This is a three values are going to, user is going to input that values. We need to find the biggest of three numbers. We need to find it here. We need to find the biggest of these three numbers. When do you say A is a big? If A is greater than B, and at the same time A is greater than C, then A is a big. The condition is like this. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then big is a A. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C, this both the conditions has to be true, then big is a A. If not, if this condition fails, then we are going to write the else if. I'm writing a one more check I'm doing here. If this condition fails, then A is no more big, because the moment this condition is failed, A is not greater than B or A is not greater than C. Then I should be comparing the only B and C values. Only I need to compare the B and C values. I need to compare here. Here we are doing here. If B is greater than C, then big is a B. Else, if big this condition also fails, then big is a C. Now you may ask the question: if all the three variables are same, what happened? The big value is a C is going to be assigned. That means it doesn't have any impact, or we can say that no, because all the variables are having the same values. We are just printing the big value. If you look at here, the AND condition, we are taking the logical operator. Sorry, this is a condition. We are taking it as a relational operator. We are taking another relational operator. You are joining that by using the logical operators you are using, and we are joining here. So to combine two or more relational operators, we would be using the logical operator. If this condition and this condition both are true, this will execute. Then controller immediately jump out of that and it will print the big value. If not, it will go to the else if. It will check this condition. If this is a true, it will execute this. If this condition is false, it will go to the else block and C will be assigned to the big, and finally the big value will be printed. Now we will write a code for this. Here we are going to take it as a new class I'm taking here. Biggest of three numbers. Three numbers, we are going to write it here. So first we are going to take a main method I'm taking here. The scanner class, I'm going to take it here. Scanner sc equal to new scanner, and we are going to ask the enter the number one. We got the number one, enter the number two. We got the number two, enter the number three, and we got the number three. Then finally, we are going to check that here. What is that check we are doing here? So, okay, here you are going to take the int big equal to. I'm going to take it as a initially number one. I'm going to take it as a big, or we can ignore that. Okay, number one is a big. We are going to take it here, or we will be taking it as a 0. Let's put it as a big variable I have taken here. Here we are going to check this here. If number one is this, if number two is this, then else we are going to write it here. The big equal to number three, we are going to take it here. And finally, we are going to print the biggest of number one, number two, and number three is this value. We are going to print it here. If number one is greater than, number two is greater than, what it's saying that. Okay, this is the thing. And they are saying that here, hey, why don't you use the max function instead of writing these things? Okay, this is a simple thing. If you are taking here math.max, okay, we can give these values. Okay, math.max, you can call it, and we can do that here. But we are learning the if else condition. Just I want to give this example I'm giving here. Okay, this is a way you would be taking here. If number one is greater than number two, and number one is greater than number three, then we are going to find the big equal to number one. If this condition is false, then we are checking that here. Else if number two is greater than number three, then we are going to set as a big equal to this. Otherwise, this is the biggest value. So now if I run this here, cool. Okay, I'm going to give all the values are right now 20, 40, and I'm going to give the 30. So the biggest value is a 40, which is going to print it as the biggest of 20, 40, 30 is 40. It's going to be printed here. So this is the way you would be using the if else if you are going to use it here. If else if you would be using that. Any questions here? Any questions?
No.
The next you would be discussing about uh, the for loop. I'm going to discuss here how to use the for loop. We will discuss about that. Okay. And then there is something called the, before going to for loop, let me explain about the conditional statement. Okay, conditional operator, we can say, or we can say it as a conditional operator. That's nothing but the ternary operator. Ternary operator. Okay, what is this ternary operator is? It's a simple thing. We want to find the biggest of two numbers. Let me take it as a simple example you're writing here. Biggest of two numbers. Biggest of two numbers. When you take a biggest of two numbers, here I'm writing the main method. And here I want to accept the, I'm taking here number A equal to 10, B equal to 20. We need to find the biggest. How do you find the biggest? Here we can write a simple condition. If A is greater than B, okay, A is greater than B, here we are going to find the into big, we are going to take it here. If A is greater than B, then big equal to A, else we are going to say it as a big equal to B. And finally, we are going to print the system.out.println. The biggest of A comma B is a big value. What is the value you are printing here? There is no point in writing the if else when your condition is a simple one. You can use the ternary operator. What is the ternary operator? Here we are going to write it here. If A is greater than B, A is greater than B, A is a big, otherwise B is the big. A is greater than B, A is a big, otherwise B is a big, we are going to say that here. This is the way you can use the ternary operator, we can use it here. A is, this is the expression. If this expression is evaluated to be true, this expression is evaluated to be true, A is greater than B, the value, the question mark, what are the value that will be written to the, that will be assigned to the big. Otherwise, if the condition is false, B value will be assigned to the big. So now if I run this here, the ternary operator, it checks the expression. If expression is true, A value will be assigned to the big, otherwise B value is going to be assigned to the big, it is going to assign here. The biggest of 10 and 20 is a 20, it's going to say that here. Now, suppose if I'm asking you the, hey, can you convert this code by using the ternary operator? Okay, can you do this by using the ternary operator? Here we are going to write a one liner. We are writing here. Now I'm checking this here. Okay, if the first case is, this is what we are going to write it here. Hey, if number one is greater than number one is greater than number two, and number one is greater than number two, then you assign this number one value. You assign this number one value as a big. Else, you are checking the one more condition. If this condition is true, you assign the number two as a big. Otherwise, number three is a big. Otherwise, number three is a big. So instead of writing the if else if multiple times, like just you are checking the condition and you are writing the simple value, you could go with the ternary operator. Syntax wise, it is a clean. Now the result will be the same. There is no doubt. Here you are writing it like this. Ternary operator, when you are taking here, this is the expression. If this expression is evaluated true, then this is a value one. If it is a false, we are going to return the value 2. Value 2, it is going to return here. So if I've taken the biggest of two numbers, okay, A is greater than B, question mark, and A is a big, otherwise B is a big. And you can assign to the some variable. Big equal to, this is what you are doing here. You can put it in a bracket if you want. Then you would be getting the result as this. Like if you are writing the same thing by using the if else, you would be writing like this. If A is greater than B, you are going to assign the big equal to A. Else, we are going to write the big equal to B. This is a code we should write it. If you are writing the if else, if you are using the ternary operator, this code we are writing the very concise code you are writing in a single line. We are writing here. Is it mandatory to use? No, depends on your problem statement. You could go with the, whether should you go with the a ternary operator or should you go with the if else, you can decide that. If you have a multiple statements, you cannot do that. You cannot do by using the ternary operator. That's the places where you are going to use the if else. Only checking the condition and returning the value, then you can go with the ternary operator. Okay, the next one is we are going to take a iterative statement. That's nothing but the, we are going to use the for loops. Let's take it as a here new class I'm taking here. Multiplication of table. Okay, multiplication of the table I'm taking here. This is a main method. Suppose if I want to print a int number equal to, I'm going to take the 19th table I'm taking here. I need to print the multiplication of the table. Okay, what is the multiplication of the table? Int I equal to, let me put it as a 1. Now I'm doing here sys out of number plus star plus I number into I. If I print this statement, what is the output? Just we'll see this here. If I print this statement, we are going to get the output as a, if I print this statement, or if I execute this program, it is going to print the 19 into 1 equal to, okay, let's run this example. 19 into 1 equal to 19, it should print it here. Like you will maintain the subspace here. Okay, let's give the subspace. Now I'm going to execute here. The moment you print this here, it is printing it as a 19 into 1 equal to 19. Same thing, I want to print the 10 times, I want to print it here. Okay, 19. Okay, this is a value. I'm going to print it here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. If I run here, the output is going to become the print the 19 into 1 equal to 19. 19 into 1 equal to 19. 10 times it is going to print the output. But that's not what we expecting. 19 ones are 19 twos are like no, the I value has to change. The I value has to be changed and it has to print it 10 times. Then what you could do here is here I value is a 1 first time. Now next time I want to increment the I value, then we are doing the I plus plus. I plus plus means you increment the I value by 1. Okay, next time you are going to print the I value is a 3. Okay, you are going to write it as a I plus plus. You increment the each statement execution, we are going to increment the I plus plus. Okay, let's you do here I plus plus. Okay, then we are going to set it as a I plus plus. I plus plus. Let's put it as a I plus plus. I'm going to do the I plus plus. Okay. I plus plus. I plus plus. This is a place where I'm doing the I plus plus. Okay, this is what each time we are printing the value and I value we are incrementing here. Now, if I run this here, so the output you are going to see that as a 19 ones are 19 twos are and up to 19 12s are which is printing here. We required only 10 times. Okay, that's fine. Here I can remove these two statements. I'm going to remove here, and there is no point in incrementing this here. Now, if I run this here, 19 ones are to 19 10s are, it is going to be printing here. Okay, this is the way we are writing the code. Suppose if he's asking the 19th table, can you print the 100 times? You cannot write the 100 statement like this. You can write, but it will like it, if it is a dynamic, the n how many number of times he wants to see the table, the value is a dynamic. Like no, writing this print statement is not at all a good option. So these are places where we will write a single statement, and this statement has to be executed. We know that it has to execute the 10 times it has to execute here. What you would do here is you would be writing a one for loop for int I equal to 1. Hey, you start the I value as a 1, I less than or equal to 10, and I plus plus. You would be writing this is a statement you are going to move it inside the we are going to move inside the loop. We are going to write it here. Control X, Control V. Yeah. Now here we will be writing this code. We are going to write it here. Now what is this? We'll try to understand this loop. The for loop, the way it works is first it will initialize this value. Then it will check the condition. If condition is true, these statements are going to be executed. And then it does the increment of this value. And again, it will check the condition. If the condition is true, again, it will execute this statement. Again, incrementation checks the condition. Until this condition is false, this code will be keep on executing that. Now, if I run this here, the output is going to become the, so 19th table, it is going to print it here. 19 ones are 2, 19 tens are it's printing here. Suppose if I want to print 100 times, just you will change this value. I'm going to run this here and it's going to print the 100, 19 ones are to 19 into 100 equal to 1900, it's printing here. When you want to execute the statements n number of times or design number of times, you would be using the loops. You are going to use it here. This is one of the simplest loop. The for loop we are using here. The for loop basic syntax is for, we are going to write it here, for initialization, condition, and then we have something called the update. And then you will have this is a statement you are going to write it here. Initialization, condition, initialization. The next one is a condition and update. It could be a plus plus, minus minus. It could be anything here. Initialization, condition, and updation. You are going to do that here. And here you are going to write the if the initialization only the initialization will be executed first time. This will execute the first time. Then it will check the condition. And if condition is true, these statements are going to execute it. And then it performs the update. Then it's going to perform the update. It is going to perform here. As a fourth step, it performs the update. If the update is fine, then again it will check the condition. If condition is true, again it execute the statements. Like this, it will continue until this condition is false. Until this condition is false, this loop will be keep on continuing its execution. And at the time of writing the loop, you should know how many iterations it has to run and what is the value it has to be updated. You should clearly know that here. Then only you can write this for loops. Otherwise, it will enter into the, if you condition, if you make it as always true, it will enter inside the infinite loops. It's going to enter into the infinite loops. It is going to enter here. So in this case, we know that here I want to print a multiplication of the table 1 to 10. I'm taking my initial value is a 1, I less than or equal to 10, and until I value become the less than or equal to 10, you execute this. And the moment I value, the moment it is executing this here, the I value is incremented. Next time it's a 2, 2 is less than or equal to 10. Then it will execute. Next time it's a 3, 3 is less than or equal to 10. This will execute. Like this, it is going to repeat. The 10 times it is going to repeat. And what are the logics you have written in this? The 10 times it is going to execute. Now, let me give you a simple another example. New class we are taking here. Sum of natural numbers. Sum of first n natural numbers. Okay, we know that here. Suppose if I'm taking the main method I'm writing here, if int n value, I'm going to take this scanner, sc equal to new scanner, int n equal to, we want to get this. We need to find the sum of first n natural numbers. N could be 10. 10 means 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 10. What is the value? We need to find it here. There is a formula for that. Int sum equal to sum of natural number equal to n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2, which is going to print the with n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2. If we do that here, we will get this sum of first 10 natural numbers. We'll run this example. Okay, here the n value we are going. Okay, we did not write the statement. 10, if I'm giving here 55, you should get that here. Sum of first 10 natural numbers is a 55. Okay, as well as out of enter the n value. So just we are going to get the n value and we are finding. Suppose if you don't remember this formula, how are you going to do this here? We can do like this. Zero value we are taking here. This is the way we are doing here. Hey, you run this loop for I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to n times. N means what is the value user is going to give I plus plus. And what are the value you're getting here? Sum equal to sum plus I. You add initially, I'm taking this sum equal to 0. And we are adding this sum plus I. And we are assigning to the sum. This can be written it as a short form. There is no need to repeat the twice this variable. This is nothing but this is equal to sum equal to sum plus I. That's like if this is a commenting, I'm explaining this here. So either you can write equal to sum, you can write the sum equal to sum plus I or sum plus equal to I, you can write it here. Both the statements are same. Shorthand notation you are writing here. So we are running the loop from 1 to less than or equal to n and I plus plus. And what are the I value I'm going to add to the sum. And finally, I'm printing the sum of first n natural numbers is what is the value you would be printing here. Suppose if I run this here. So here I'm going to give the 10. I'll be getting it as a 55. You can write it this statement also in a reverse order. What is that? What does it mean? Now I equal to n value. How long it has to execute? I greater than or equal to 1. And here we are taking the I minus minus. You are taking the instead of 1 to 10, 10 to 1 you are taking here. First you are taking the bigger value and we are checking the condition I greater than or equal to 1, I minus minus. Then we are taking the sum plus equal to I. Now you are going to run this here. This would be the same output. There is no problem. So 55. Here, instead of taking the maximum value you are taking here, and we are decrementing. I value is the first 9, 10, then it is going to be 9, then it is 8, until I greater than or equal to. The moment it becomes the 0, condition is false, it will come out of that, and it will be printing that as a sum of natural number. What is the result? It would be printing here. So this is a way you can write a simple for loops, you can write it here. Simple for loops, you are going to write it here. Now, let me ask you the one more example. We need to find the factorial of a given number. Factorial of given number. Factorial of a number. This is what we are taking here. Now here you would be writing the main method. You are going to write it here. And here you are taking the scanner. SC equal to new scanner. In SYS out, enter the number. And here we are going to get the number value you want to get it here. Okay. Int number equal to SC dot next int. Now, what we need to find here is we need to find the factorial of a given number. How do you find the factorial? If you take the number is 5. How do you find the 5 factorial? 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. If you multiply that, you will get a result as a factorial of a given number. Now, what I will do here is when you're writing this program, I'll be taking it as a fact equal to initially I'll take it as a 1. Now I'll run a loop. I'll run a loop for int I equal to 2, I less than or equal to what is the n value they have given, and I plus plus. I plus plus, you are going to write it here. Here we are going to do this here. Fact into equal to I. So that means from 2 to, if the n value is a 5, the fact value is initially 1 and I value is a 2. 2 into 1, which is nothing but it's going to become the 2. Now I value is incremented to 3. I value is incremented to 3. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes. 3 into I. 2 into 3, which is nothing but the 6. Then I value is incremented 4. 4 into 6, 24. Okay, this value is incremented to 5. Now 5 is less than or equal to 5. Yes. 6 into 5, 120. Then I value is incremented to 6. Is it 6 is less than or equal to 5? No, condition is false. By the time we got the factorial of a given number, we would be printing that what is the factorial of a given number. We are going to print it here. The factorial of a given number, what is the value you would be printing here. Now, this is what we are going to write it here. First, initially, we'll take it as the res equal to 1 or fact equal to 1. You can take it here. Either anything you can take it here. This is the initially we are initializing. Now I am running the for int I equal to 2 to I less than number and I plus plus, and I'm multiplying here. And finally, here, why are you taking the 2? Can't we take it as a 1? 1 into 1, it is not going to change any value. Unnecessarily, we are running the one extra loop, extra iteration. To avoid that, just I'm taking from the 2. Then finally, we are going to print the factorial of a given number is this is the value you are going to get it here. This is a value you would be getting that as a factorial of a number is this is a fact we are going to print it here. Now here we are going to run this example. The factorial of a 5 we want to find it here. The factorial of a 5 is 120. We would be getting it as a factorial of that number is 120. We got it here. This is a way you can use the a simple for loops. You can use it here. Any questions here?
No, sir. Good to go.
Good. Now let's say we will develop a fun game. We will develop that. We'll see that here how the fun game works. You'll see that. New class I'm taking here. This is a dice game. I'm going to take it here. Cool. Now, if we take a 6-faced dice, 1 minute, guys. Okay, if you take a you are taking one second. You are taking a 6-faced dice. When you take that here, when you roll it, you will get the one of the option. You will get it here. Either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. You want to develop. Now you want to develop this fun game like now where you would be generating the one random number 1 to 6, and we are asking the person to guess the number. If the guessed number and what are the generated number both are same, you will say that, hey, you won the game. Otherwise, you are going to say that here, you lost the game, try again. This is what we want to say that here. Now, the first question will arise as here, how do I generate a, now here we are going to say that here, the main method I'm writing here. Okay. First thing is I'm going to take this 6-faced dice. If I'm taking here, I'm going to say that as a, this is a scanner class I'm taking here. Okay, then here we are going to generate a one random number we want to generate. Okay, random number. How do you generate a random number in Java? If you want to generate a random number, we would be generating the int. Okay, this is a value. I'm going to take it here. Okay, this is a one way you can generate. Otherwise, we can take the thread local random next int. Current thread, we are going to take the next int we are taking here 1,6. Okay, if you look at this method, it returns the random number chosen in the array. Both are inclusive. Okay, upper bound is exclusive. We want to get the inclusive. That means 1 to 7. Now here we are going to print the generated number. We are going to take it here, and I'm going to sys out. I'm going to print it here. Generated number. I'm going to print it here. Now, if I run this example, this is going to generate a one random number in this range 1 to 7. It is going to generate here. 6 is generated here. Suppose if I'm running in the loop for int I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to 10 times, what is the value it is generated? Just we want to confirm that. 10 times I'm running this code, I'm running the 10 times. When I run the 10 times, what is the value? Random number it is generated. Just we want to find that here. Now I'm going to run this here. 10 times I'm running here. The value always should be in the range 1 to 6 only. We don't know what value it is going to be generated, but we are sure that generated value is between 1 to 7. The 7 is exclusive. Okay, now our code is working fine. Okay, now we don't want to print this here. This is we are going to say it as a generated value. This is a generated value. Now what we are doing here is we are going to ask the SYS out. Okay, guess the number in 1 to 6. We are going to ask him to guess the number. The scanner equal to. Okay, here we are going to say that here. Yeah, we guess the number we are saying here. Int user value equal to. We are going to get this here. And now here we are going to check this here. If generated value is equal to user value, then we are going to say that here. Otherwise, you are saying it as a you lost the game. This is a generated value. I'm going to use it here. By using the generated value, okay, we are going to ask the user to, hey, can you guess the value? What like your random number generation is nothing but you are throwing the dice, and we are asking the user to guess the number. If the guessed number and the user value both are same, then you are saying it as a you won the game. Otherwise, you are going to say that here you lost the game. Now we'll run this here. Okay, it is asking the guess the value 1 to 6. If I say that as a 5, you lost the game. Okay, then when you lost the game, it is better to show the what is the generated value. And the dice value is this is the value you are going to print it here. When you win the game, there is no problem. When you lose the game, you need to show that what is that value. It is generated here. I'm going to give the 5 only. You lost the game. The dice has generated is the 4. The dice value is 4. Okay, so you can try that multiple times. You can try that here. We like now. So yeah, like here we are going to give the 4. You lost the game. It's generated 6. Yeah, it's a difficult to guess. Like no, you have a 6 options. Like yeah, most of my guesses are going wrong. Yeah. Now here I want to give a chance. User can guess in 3 attempts. If in the 3 attempts he is unable to guess that, then we'll say that here, hey, you have reached the maximum number of attempts. We are going to give the 3 attempts you want to give that. We want to give the 3 attempts. In 3 attempts, if he is not able to guess the game, then we are saying it as a, hey, you could not guess the game and you have reached the maximum number of attempts. You are going to say that. Can someone think, how do you do this? How can you give the 3 options for the user? Okay, we don't want to say that here you lost the game. You want to say that here your guess is wrong, try again, and we'll give the 3 options. In 3 options, if he's not able to guess the game, then we are guess the number. We are saying here, hey, you have reached the maximum number of attempts. So like no, you can try again, we can say that. So this is a place what we can do here is we are going to run a loop. We are going to run it here for int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 3, and I plus plus. Okay, we are going to, this is what everything we are going to put it in a loop. We are going to put this here. I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 3, and I plus plus, we are going to take it here. And here we are going to say that here, we are asking the user to guess the value 1 to 6. Suppose in the first attempt itself, if you guess the number, you won the game. Do you want to continue this loop? In the first attempt itself, you guess the game. Then we don't want to continue this loop. We don't want to continue this loop anymore. Then you would use this statement called the break. Hey, you break from the loop. You are going to say that here. If the guess is wrong, we are going to say it as a, you are going to say it as a SYS out. Okay, sorry. Try again. This is what you are saying here. Sorry, try again. We are going to say that here. And the next thing you are going to do this here, if, okay, else if, else you are going to do this here, else you are going to write it here. Here we are going to check that here. If I value is 3, you lost the game and you reached maximum attempts. Okay. Else we are going to say that here, try again. It's a wrong guess. Try again. We are going to give him an option. Okay, we'll say it as a simple message. It's a wrong guess. Try again. You just observe this here. What are the we have learned? We are going to apply all the concepts you are applying in this game application. Okay. What we would be doing here is when the user runs this program, we are asking to, hey, guess a number. He is going to enter the value. If the generated value, user value is the same, then you own the game and we are going to break. That means don't execute anymore this loop. You come out of that. If guess number is wrong, we are checking that I value is equal to 3. Then we would print this message and we are going to ask him to guess the number and we'll be allowing him to do that here. If not 3, it's a wrong guess. Try again. We are going to say that here. If the after third attempt, we don't want to, in the third attempt also, we don't want to say that here. No. Yeah. Third, like no, the until third attempt, you don't want to say that he lost the game. Only the third attempt also he is not able to guess properly. Then you are saying that here you lost the game and you reach the maximum number of attempts you are saying here. Otherwise, we are giving him the wrong guess. Try again. We are going to say it as a try again. We are saying here. Let's run the output. We'll see that output, how it is going to be. Okay, first I'm going to guess the number as a 1. Wrong guess, try again. Now I'm saying the 2. Wrong guess, try again. 3. You lost the game. You reached the maximum number of attempts. In the 3 attempts, I could not guess that number. Now, suppose if I run once again. Can someone try? I'm unable to guess these numbers. Yeah. Somebody luck, you can check. Can you guess the number? Nobody. Okay. We'll give it as a 5. Wrong guess. Okay,
4.
5, 4. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can put the debugger and we can see that output. There is no problem. Yeah, can you guess now? 2.
2.
Okay, 2 is wrong. 4.
6.
Wrong. 6. You won the game. The third attempt, you have won the game. That's what it is saying here. Yeah. How do I know, like when you are using the debugger, how it works? We'll see this here. I'm going to put the debugger here. I'm going to debug as a Java application I'm running here. Okay, here its generated value is you can see here the generated value. If you take that generated value is 1, it's generated. You are asking the user to enter the value. Now in the console, I'm going to enter the 1. Okay. The moment I enter the 1, the generated value, user value, both are same. Then it is going to print this output and break. The moment the break is encountered, even though this is supposed to run the 3 times, since break statement is encountered, it is going to break from that loop. Now controller came out of the loop and you won the game. It is printed here. So this is a way you can apply the the basics, whatever you learn, like if else, where we will be using here. This is a typical scenario, so you can say that. Yeah. Any questions here? Yeah, we can write it in a different ways also. This is one of the approach we have taken. Just we are asking the uh, user to guess that number in 3 attempts. If he is not able to guess it in 3 attempts, then you're saying that here you lost the game and you reach the maximum number of attempts. So if he gets the first attempt itself, you are going to break from that loop. You don't want to continue anymore. So this is a way you could use the break statement in the for loops. Any questions? No.
No, sir.
Good. Now let me explain about the break and continue, how the statements works. Break and continue, how it works. Yes, we are going to discuss about that here. We have a two statements. One is a break, another one is a continue. Okay. The break statement, whenever the break statement is encountered, it is going to break from that loop. And whenever the continue statement encounters, it will continue the next iteration. It will continue the next iteration. What does it mean? So suppose if I'm taking here, I'm writing a one simple for loop. I'm writing here. Let me take it here. Break and continue example. Okay, break and continue example I'm taking here. This is the main method I'm writing here for int I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to 100 times and I plus plus. Okay, here we are going to print the SYS out of I value I'm printing here. If I take this here, I equal to 20, you are doing here. You know that here, when I execute this here, output is going to print the 1 to 20, it is going to print. This loop is going to run the 20 iterations. It will start from the 1 until I value reaches the 20. This is going to keep on incrementing, and it's finally it will print the 20 times the statement system.out.println is going to print. Now here we are writing a one extra statement I'm writing here. If I modulus of 5 equal to 0, I'm saying it as a break. Otherwise, we are saying it as a SYS out. I'm printing the I value. What does it mean? If I is a modulus of equal to 5, if that condition is true, break from that loop. Break from that loop, we are going to say that here. Now the output is going to print the only 4. 1 to 4, it's going to print it here. The moment I value, I modulus of 5 equal to 0, it became the 0, then it is breaking from that loop. It is going to come here, like no, just we are going to say it as after break statement, it is going to be printed here. Okay, we need not write that statement. The break is, this loop supposed to run 20 times. Like when this condition is true, the break is encounter, this is going to break from that loop. That means it won't execute anymore this for loop, even though there is an extra iterations. It's breaking from that loop. And what are the statements you have written here? Those statements will be continued. So it's the best example is a real-time example. You can say that no, you are searching for something. The moment you found, like no, then you will not search further. Like no, you are going to break. Like you are going to you have found the search result. You are just stopping searching. No, the similarly here also. So you have a like especially boarding hostels, if you take that here, the rooms will be in one stretch. You will have the continuously some 30 rooms you will have. You are searching for your friend. You happen to find your friend in the first room itself. You will not go and search in further rooms. No, the same thing here also. Whenever you encounter the break, that means you supposed to search 30 rooms. The moment you found your friend in third room or fourth room, immediately you are stopping your searching. The same thing here also. If this condition is true, this loop supposed to run 20 times. Since break is encountered, it is going to break from that loop, and then you will continue your execution. That's the reason it's printed the output as a 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4. It's printed, and the break statement is encountered. It came out, and here we don't have any other statements. That's the reason it didn't print anything. and it's printing it as output as a 1, 2, 3, 4. What about the continue? Suppose if I'm taking the continue, whenever the continue encounters, it will go and continue the next iteration. It will not execute this code. Whenever this I modulus of 5 equal to I modulus of 5 equal to 0, it will continue the next iteration of the your for loop. Next iteration means this statement will not executed when this condition is true. Instead, that value will be incremented and the next iteration will be continued. Can someone tell me what would be the output if I run this program? Can someone tell me? Yeah, go ahead. Somebody is trying.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, you are
Like that,
saying
sir.
that except like no multiples of the 5, it is going to print the all the well. Like no 5 will be skipped, 10 will be skipped, 15 will be skipped,
Yes,
and 19 will be skipped. Sorry, 20 will be skipped. Okay. Now the output is going to, you would be getting the output as a 1, 2, 3, 4. There will not be any 5. There will not be any 5. There will not be any 10. There will not be any 15. There will not be any 20. Suppose if I do this here, what is the output? If I do this, what would be the output?
odd numbers.
Yeah, it will print all the odd numbers. Good. It's going to print all the odd numbers. It will be printed here. Okay, odd numbers are 1, 3. This is a value 1, 3, 5. So the difference between continue and break, the break will exit from the loop. The continue will continue the next iteration. That's the difference between the break and the continue. Is this clear? This is most of the beginners will have a confusion when to use the continue and when to use the break. The break is when you want, when the condition is true, you don't want to execute that loop anymore, then you would use the break. Continue means whenever that statement is over, I want to skip that loop, skip that iteration, you would use the continue. So that means you go and continue the next iteration, you are going to settle for the for loop. Good. Now, the next example we will be discussing here is continue and break we discussed, and then we will be discussing about the nested for loops. Okay, nested for loops, how are you going to write it here? What is a nested for loop? Loop inside, if you write the another for loop, or loop, if inside another, if you write that here, that we call it as the nested loops, or nested statements, you can say that here. So we printed the multiplication of the table. If you take it here, multiplication of the table, we printed the 19th table we printed. But I'm asking you to print the, can you print the 1 to 20 tables? Here we are printing the only one single table you are printing. Now I'm asking you to print the, can you print the 1 to 20 tables in the same manner? Can you print the 1 to 20 tables? Okay, here we are going to write it here. One more class, I'll take it here. Multiplication of the table. Table in range. I'll say it as a, this is what we are going to. Okay. So just let me rename this here, multiplication of the table. Now I'm going to take it here. This is a main method I'm writing here. Suppose if I'm taking the int number equal to 1, I want to print the first table. How are you going to print? For int I equal to 1 to I less than, then we are going to print this value you are printing here. This is a nothing but the, you are printing the first table you are printing here. Now if I run this here, you would get the first table you are going to get it here. We got the 1 1s are 1 10s are, but he is asking to print the tables from 1 to 20. Like no, int LB equal to, is going to set as a lower bound equal to this, int UB equal to 20. He is asking to print the tables from the 1 to 20 is asking to print that here. Now what you will do here is, you are going to run a one more for loop for for int I'm going to take it as a t equal to into t equal to lb, t is less than or equal to ub, t plus plus. Okay, t plus plus you are going to take it here, and you would write this entire code inside this loop, and here we are going to put the t value. I'm going to put it here. Here we are going to put the t value you are going to assign here. Okay, here you would be taking it as a t value. Yeah, here we are going to set as a t value. You are going to assign that, or we can take it as a directly here number. There is no point in taking this here. Number is less than or equal to ub, number plus plus. You would be writing like this. Now, if we take it here, we have written a loop inside another loop you have written. This loop, it has to run 1 to 20 times. Whenever this condition is true, the inner loop is going to run the 10 times. Now here we are going to print it as a one line separator. I'm going to print it here. Now the first one value is a LB value is a 1. 1 is less than or equal to 20. Condition is true. The controller will enter inside the loop, and this will execute this loop. Then once it is done that here, it is going to print the new line. Then it increment the I value. Now I value is a 2. 2 is less than or equal to 20. Again, it will enter inside the loop. This statement will be executed. Then again, this process will continue until the outer loop is failed. Now, if I run this example, which is going to print the 20 table, the tables it is going to print the from 1 to 20. You can see here all the things. First table, this is the second table, third table, this is all values it will be. This is a way you can write a loop inside another loop you are writing here. You're nothing complex, guys. Just you are taking here outer loop, you are writing another statement you are writing here. Another statement is nothing but the one more loop you are writing here. You're writing a one more loop, you are going to write it here. Loop inside the another loop, you call it as a nested loops, you can say that. So how this will be executed, this is our. First, it will check this condition. If condition is true, again, it will enter inside. Whenever it enter inside, again, it does the initialization, and it will continue its execution. Then it will print again updation. If the condition is true, again, this value will be reinitialized, and again, it's going to run the 10 times. Keep on repeats that. The moment outer loop is over, then it is going to come out of this, and what are the statements you have next, it will be executed here. This is the way you will write it, loop inside the another loop, you are going to write it here. This we call it as a nested for loops. Is this clear? Suppose I'm asking you hey, print the table. We are going to say it as a okay, 20 to 10. First you print the 20 table, next 19th table, until then this 18th, 17th, up to 10th table you need to print it here. We are asking the first 20 table, then 19th table. Now here, if I run this here, this example is going to print the 10, 11, 12. That's the way tables will be printed. Here we are asking in the reverse order. First to print the 20, next to print the 19th table, up to 10th table you print it here. What is the changes you need to make? Can someone please? What are the changes you need to make in order to print the first 20th table, 19th table, up to the 10th table? Can someone? What we could do here is we will take the number equal to UB. You take the upper bound value, and the number is greater than or equal to LB. And here we are going to do the number minus minus. First value is a 20. 20 is greater than 10, then 20 table will be printed. Then 19 is greater than 10, like this keep on runs that here. And finally, the output is going to become the, first it is going to print the 20th table, then 19th table, up to 10th table, it will be printed the output. It's like now how you are writing the loop, whether you want to start from the lower value to the higher value to the lower value. Whenever you take the lower value to the higher value, you will get the less than symbol here and plus plus here. Higher value to the lower value, if you take that here, this is a greater than and minus minus, you would be getting that. See, ultimately what you are doing here, you are initializing some number and you are taking the some condition. You want to make this condition and you are updating that value. Whether it's a number is incremented by 1 or 10, that's up to you. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let me ask the one question. So can someone, you guys can give it a try. Generate even numbers in range. Okay. We need to generate even numbers in the range. This is the main method I'm taking here. Int LB equal to, I'm going to take it as a 10. Int UB equal to, I'm going to take it as a 100. Okay. So there is a one condition here. Print all the even numbers in the range, and that even numbers in the, print all the even numbers in this range. We are going to say that here. Yeah. Now what will you do here? We need to print all the even numbers in this range. We need to print it here. Yeah. Can someone please? All the even numbers in this range. You can write a for loop. For if I is modulus of 2 equal to 0, we are printing the I value. We are going to print it here. I'm running this loop. Okay, I'm running this loop UB LB to UB, and if I modulus of 2 equal to 0, we are printing the I value you are printing here. Now, if I run this here, you will get all the even numbers. You are going to get it here. Now, here we are going to take it as a 20. Now, I'm running this here. I would be getting all the even numbers. I'm getting here 10 to 20, all the even numbers you will be getting. Okay, let it run. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, we got it here. Instead of doing this, what I can do here is, okay, here, yeah, there is no other option because we don't know LB value is a even or odd. Even or odd, okay. We would be taking here this one. You are running the loop and we are checking the condition. If it is even number, we are going to do this here and we are printing here. The similar example, we are going to do that here. Okay. Sum of first n even and odd. Okay. Now what is main method? We are going to write it here. Int n value, I'm going to take it as a 20. Okay. First n even numbers sum and odd number sum, you want to find it here. Below n are less than or equal to n. What are the even numbers? All the even number sum and all the odd number sum, you want to find it here. You want to find the even number sum and odd number sum, you want to find it here. So in order to find that here, int even sum equal to 0, int odd sum equal to 0, and here we are going to run a loop. What is that loop we are running here? I equal to, we are going to say it as a I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to that particular number. If I modulus of 2 equal to 0, you add to the even number. Else you are going to add to the odd number. Then finally, we would be printing it as a SYS out. The first n even number sum is this. The first n odd number sum is this. What we are doing here is we are running this loop. If I-val is an even number, I'm going to the even sum I'm adding here. If I-val is an odd number, I'm going to add to the odd sum I'm adding here. And at the end of this iteration, you will get the what is the all the even numbers sum you will be maintained in the even sum. All the odd number sum will be maintained in the odd sum. We are going to get it here. Now, if I run this here, you would be seeing that output as the even number sum and odd number sum, you would be getting that here. Okay, let me run this example. Even number sum is 110 and odd number sum is 100. Suppose if you want to print that values also, you can print that values. How we are going to just SYS out of. So this is the event. We are going to print it here. What is the value you would be printing here? Okay, if it is an even number, what is the value you would be printing here? Not required. So just you are going to do this here. Even number sum and odd number sum, we are going to find it here. Now, we will take one more example. This will be taking it as the last example. We'll take it here and we'll see that here. Now here we are going to find the factors of given number. This is the last example we'll do. Now here we are going to take it as a main method. Now here int number equal to, I'm going to take it as a 18. You need to find the factor. You need to print all the factors of a 18. The factors means the numbers which divides this 18. We want to print that. Now here we are going to write a for loop. We are writing here for int I equal to, we are going to take it as a 1, I less than or equal to until that number, and I'm dividing this here. If I value divides this number, if it is equal to 0, that is a factor. Instead of println, I'm going to print, and I want to print the some space. I'm going to print it here. If I run this example, the factors of the 18 is, what are the factors? 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor, 3 is a factor, 6 is a factor, 9 is a factor, and 18 is a factor. These many numbers, it divides that. Suppose if I'm taking the 29, I'm taking here, it will have the factors as a 1 and itself. It will have the factors as the 1 and itself. It is going to print the 1 and 29. It is going to print it here. If the number is having the only 2 factors, that we call it as a prime number. If number is divisible by 1 and itself, that we call it as a prime number. So now suppose if I want to find the given number is a prime number or not. If I want to find the given number is a prime number or not, you want to print the factors at the same time. We want to find the whether given number is a prime number or not. We need to check that here. What you could do here is int count equal to, initially you make it as a 0. Whenever it divides that number, you increment the count value. You increment the count value by 1. And after the for loop, you are going to check that here. If count value is equal to 2, if it is having the only 2 factors, given number is a prime. Else we are going to say that as a given number is not a prime number. We are running this loop and we are counting the count value. You are going to keep on incrementing that here. And after end of this loop, if count value is a 2, then we are saying that as it's a prime number. Otherwise, it's not a prime number. Now let's run this here. I'm going to run this here example. You would be getting it as the 29 is a prime number. The given number is a prime number. In order to print the new line, just you will be adding the /n. /n is nothing but the new line. This we call it as escape sequence characters. And if I run this here, it would be printing it as the factors of this number is 1 and 29, and the given number is a prime number. Suppose I want to print the factors of the number in the range. I want to print it here for int I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to 100. I'm going to take it here. I plus plus I'm taking here. Okay. Here instead of I, just we'll take it as a j. Okay, j value I'm going to take it here. Now here we are going to take it as a int number equal to j value. I'm going to assign here, or we can take it as a here itself number. I can take it here. There is nothing wrong. This is a number. This is a number, and this is a number. Okay. Now I put this entire thing in the loop. I'm going to add it here. I'm adding everything in the loop. Now here what we are doing here is we are taking it as a below 100. Okay, below 100, 1 to 100 numbers. I'm checking that I'm printing the factors of that number. And at the same time, I'm printing the whether given number is a prime number or not. Okay, here we are going to write it here. SYS out. The factors of this number are, and we are going to find it here. then you would be saying it as a, okay, is prime number. We are going to say that here is prime number, and here we are going to say that as a, it's not a prime number. We are going to say that here. We have written a little, like, now what we are doing here, 1 to 100 numbers we are generating. We are printing the factors of that number, and at the same time, whether that number is a prime number or not, we are going to find it here. Okay. Here we want to print a one new empty line. I want to print it here. Separate line. I'm going to print it here. Now, if I run this example, you would see that output. You can see here 1 to 100 numbers it's printing. The factors of 1 is 1. It's not a prime number. Factors of 2 are 1 and 2. 2 is a prime number. Factors of 3 are 1 and 3. It's a prime number. Factors of 4 is 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 4. It's not a prime number. 5 is a prime number. 6 is not a prime number. Like this until 100 numbers, it is going to print it here. 100 numbers, it would be printing here. The factors of this, you would be printing. This is the way you would be printing here. Each number you are taking, and we are printing the factors, and at the same time, we are checking that that is a prime number or not. We are checking here. So this is the way, like, what are the basics we learn? You try to, like, now add complexity. Like, now first you have found the factors. Then I want to check that whether it's a prime number or not. I want to check the first 100 prime numbers. What are the factors I want to print it here? So just you put it in the same logic. You're going to put it in a loop, and you are going to try that here. And some of the things, even if you don't get it 100%, don't worry, guys. You are learning the first time. And these examples, what are the classroom examples I'm explaining? Probably to practice this all examples, you may need at least, if I take this session of the 1.5 hour, you require another 4 hours you required. You need to watch the recordings. And at the same time, you practice this example. What are the code I'm doing here? You also code that. Yeah. Then only you will get it that here. If you are familiar with the programming, it's like, just you are refreshing your basic concepts. You can say that here. You're learning first time. Religiously, you sit in front of the computer and watch the recordings and what are the examples I have given in the classroom 1.5 hour session. You spend another 4.5 hours, 6 hours you can spend, and you can learn and can get familiar. Once you reach the advanced concepts, then you need not to spend that much time until you get the familiar with the Java syntax and familiar with this for loops. And this is a for loops and the basic fundamentals. It's a common for any programming language. You learn any scripting, or you learn any Python or Java or shell script, or whatever you learn that here, the fundamentals are not going to change. Maybe syntax may be different, slightly different in other programming language, but overall, the concepts wise, the fundamentals, the way you use it, it is the same. Okay, to show you a basic example. Okay, to show you basic example. Suppose if I'm writing the, do I have the Python or not? I'm not sure. Okay, let me take the console. Python, I'm going to type it here. Yeah, I have a Python. Suppose I want to print the multiplication of the table. Okay, how do you do it in Python? Let me write it as a simple example. I'm going to take it as a number equal to, I'm going to take it as a 19. And for I in range, okay, so here we are going to take the 1, 11. I'm going to take it here. Then I'm going to use the print. Okay, this is a formatted string, F string. I'm going to use it here. This is a place where I'm saying it as a number. Okay, then here we are going to do the star. Then we are going to take it as a I. Then here we are going to say it as a equal to, where I'm saying it as a number into I. I'm going to say that here. And you close this here, you close this. Okay, now 19th table is printed. So here the for loop syntax is slightly different, but here the finally what you are doing here, 1 to 11 you are taking here. Each time the step value will be 1, and we are printing this here, where we are using the print, and here we are using the system.out.println. That's the only difference. The concept wise it's same. I'm saying that here. The only syntax part may be slightly different. So when you decided to learn Java as your first programming language, get familiar with all this syntax part, so that when you switch to the other programming languages, you can easily correlate that, hey, this is the way I write the for loop. equivalent of that Python, how I'm going to write it here. Okay, that's all from my side. Any questions, guys? If you don't have any questions, then we are done for the day. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
See you guys.